what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video, we're going to take a quick dive into the patch notes for 21.1, which is going to be the Vikendi Reborn update. Ton of changes in Vikendi to cover. Some other changes, quality of life changes, and other maps as well. So we'll cover all of what you need to know in today's review, and I'll sprinkle in some gameplay of the new Vikendi when I was able to play a little bit earlier today. So let's go ahead and jump right in. All right, guys, so let's take a look. Patch notes update 21.1. Now this update comes out today on test server, so it's November 29th, December 6th for PC live servers, and then December 13th for console live servers. That's when the update will hit, and it will be bringing a brand new survivor pass, skins, all that kind of good stuff. Look at my latest video out yesterday going over all of the leaked skins for the survivor pass. All right, so let's take a look at the map service rotations. Now this one is going to be the same for regions with map selection and regions with random map selected. Normal matches are going to include Erangel, Miramar, Tego, Sanhok, and Paramo. Ranked is going to have Erangel, Miramar, Tego. They once again have removed Destin for God knows what reasons, and now we have Sanhok and Paramo, and then Destin and Karakin are out. I really think this is a terrible decision, especially considering Tego and Paramo are both bugged right now with the secret rooms not working. So you have two key features of both of those maps unavailable. And I think that's the obvious reason. Take Paramo back out, leave Destin in. It's one of their best maps they've ever made, and it's still new enough where people really want to get their hands on it. So definitely take out Paramo. If anything, Tego leaves, put Destin back in. That's my 2 cents. A change specifically for Korea and Japan regions: solo, duo, and squad FPP are gone. Bye-bye. I guess only TPP's popular over there. All right, Vikendi Reborn. So for those who haven't heard anything, you've been living under a rock, Vikendi is back. It's no longer a 6x6. It is now an 8x8 map. It has a ton of snow on the map, and as you can see, the southern part of the map is just more kind of greenery and grasslands. So really nice variety in the new Vikendi. This is the old one on the left. Almost every POI has been updated quite significantly, and a lot of POIs have been removed. So when you log in, check the map and see if your favorite one is back. Like me, for instance, Dino Land is still there, but they moved it way out west. They moved Castle a little bit southeast, but I know there's a lot of people's favorite drops that are just no longer there, or they have been moved pretty significantly. All right, so let's talk about new things in Vikendi. Number one, cable cars are added. These are going to be movable. They're AI controlled, so they go to and from point A and point B, and you can hop onto these cable cars by yourself or with a vehicle, or I think up to 2 vehicles can even fit on it. So you can get, I put a snowmobile on one, and then I think I had the snow bike on one as well, but I've seen the devs where they drove a Zima onto it, and even a Dacia. So you can put a number of different vehicles onto the cable cars. They go on set paths on the map. It's actually, you see this red line right here? This is going to designate the cable car on the map, and they'll have one that goes, this way, one that goes that way, and you can jump off of them at any time and use the redeploy parachute, which is now built into every character for Vikendi, thank goodness. And they apparently have decided to put a lot, and I mean a lot, of Panzerfaust as a hard spawn near the cable car ramps and inside of the cable car. So be warned, if people are up above in the cable car, they probably have an RPG, or if you want an RPG, you go up there and go get it. All right, a number of new areas have been added to Vikendi, and this one specifically, they're calling the lab camps. Now, the lab camps are kind of strewn about in the northwestern part of the map in what they call the snowfields, and you see one highlighted here in the middle of the ice patch. And inside of the lab camp, you can land there off the rip. It's very secluded, so no vehicles, no easy escape once you land there, but they have really good loot choices there. There's a lot of loot boxes, kind of similar to Apex, how they have different colors on the boxes. There's red, yellow, and blue supply drops just sitting there waiting to be looted. The yellow labeled supply drops have boosts, throwables, M79 grenade launchers, or potentially level 3 equipment may spawn in there. The red supply drops have all the weapons, which may even have care package weapons, low spawn rate, and then blue supply drops have all the attachments. Now the kicker with any of these boxes is once you land there and you go to open up the box, if you take any item out of the box, a big loud alarm will sound with a flashing red light, letting other players know nearby that, hey, someone is here looting right now. So just quick example, if you land in this little town here or the town up in coal mine and you hear the alarm, you have very easy sights on where this team is and can easily kind of go down there and maybe get some free kills. So it's a high risk, high reward type of spot. I'm personally not super keen on the idea of like a guaranteed drop for loot, because when I went here on the test server, and I'll show some footage of it here, there were so many guns inside of the red supply drops that, I mean, you could literally land there with a squad or 2 squads and everybody can get a gun. And why I think that maybe isn't the best ideas is because that might really spread out everyone's drops, and you may not have as many hot drops as you would otherwise. Oh, and from what I can tell, normal supply airdrops do not happen on Vikendi. I didn't see any during my playtest, where a plane flies over and drops level 3 gear. I did not see any of that in my playtest. We'll be playing live tonight on YouTube and on Twitch, so come by and check us out, and maybe we'll have some different answers for you there. Next up is the comeback arena. The comeback arena has seen a lot of changes and a lot of improvements, and I have yet to play it myself to test it, but here is the rundown on the comeback arena. Now you'll have up to 3 chances to go back to the comeback arena. When the match starts, in the top left of your screen, you'll see a timer. That timer will be about 3 minutes. Every 3 minutes, a new comeback arena will start. So at the start of the match, if you drop out of the plane and die on the hot drop, but your teammate survives, within the first 3 minutes, you'll go into that first comeback arena phase. If you survive the comeback arena, come back into the game, you could potentially die again in the next 3 minutes, go into the second comeback arena phase. Rinse and repeat. You could come back a 3rd time total, all before phase 1 closes. So what I previously thought was that phase 1 was going to be a comeback arena, phase 2 was going to have a comeback arena, and phase 3 was going to have a comeback arena. I was incorrect in that assumption. It is all within the first phase of the game. So the first 9 minutes, 9.5 minutes of the match, you have 3 chances to come back, and you can come back all 3 times if your teammate is still alive and you complete the comeback arena. So that's number 1. Number 2, when you get into the comeback arena, the zone is going to be way smaller. So a lot more fast paced, a bit more hectic. You're not going to be able just to camp and survive like you could on Tego. They're actually going to be dropping these care packages down that you can see here. You can loot backpacks, and like on Tego, anything that you take out of the comeback arena, you bring with you into the real match. So I think overall it's a great change because they're speeding up the comeback arena. You don't have to sit there for 9 minutes if you die. Let's say you die off the rip, max that you're waiting is 3 minutes, and then boom, you got a chance to come back and then rinse repeat 3 more times, or 2 more times rather. But I was a little saddened to see that it was only in the first phase, because once you get out of the first phase, that's 9 minutes into the game, and you get into phase 2. If your teammate dies, like, that's a wrap. And I understand a lot of people, are like, hey, good, I don't want people coming back constantly. But, for me, the whole idea of the comeback arena was that the mid game isn't such a lull. And if, one of your teammates dies at phase 2, there's still a lot of people that are very likely just to back out of the lobby and just leave, because they don't want their teammates sitting there for phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, phase 5, just when they could just back out and get a new match. So hopefully they monitor the player counts, in the matches as people get used to these new changes, and hopefully they make adjustments as needed. All right, next is the map utility items, ascenders and ascender towers. So just like on Destin, we now have ascenders in Vikendi. They're littered throughout the map. You'll see them looking very obvious, a little tarp and the obvious zip line letting you know you can go up and down. You can jump off of them at any time and parachute off. You can jump off of any roof and parachute off because of the always on parachute. So this is really, really cool. And you can see it says ascenders have been attached to buildings in observatory and coal mine. Ascender towers are located throughout the map. However, there should be an asterisk here, because like on Destin, the ascender towers are like 500 stories in the air. Like they're super super tall where you can fly across the whole map. The Ascender towers on Vikendi are more like Ascender studs. Like they're like 30 feet off the ground. So you can zip up, but you literally can't go anywhere. By the time you jump off and pull your parachute, you're on the ground. So not sure exactly what the goal was with that, because there's no cover once you get up there either. It's not like it's a good sniping perch. You're like out in the open. Gas stations are back for Vikendi, and now they work just like on Destin. You can shoot the fuel pump, blow it up, or you can pull your vehicle up, hold F, and refuel your vehicle. Really cool. And once you get in to the gas station, you're going to have an opportunity to use a brand new feature, the Croawbar interaction. If you see a crowbar in the map, pick it up. Don't just walk right over it. Even if you already have a butt pan, put the crowbar in your inventory, because certain doors and certain locked boxes are now going to be interactable with the crowbar. And one of those I can guarantee you on is the gas station, because I went there and there's like a silver plated door. It looks very out of the ordinary. It's not like a normal looking door. It's got a little lock on it. You hold F with a crowbar in your hand, you knock it open, you have some loot in there, and then these little whatever you call it, closets or cabinets are there too that you can break open. I didn't see any significantly good loot at all when going through it. The coolest or most different thing I found was a drone inside one of the rooms, and I don't think the drone has any drone features like it has on Destin. I think it's only just to, you know, spot enemies and that sort of thing. I didn't see any vents or anything where the drone could get you secret loot or nothing. Okay, so more on that. Vehicle changes are actually quite significant. Obviously, they've added snowmobiles back. Now, in the gameplay footage I've kind of trickled in here, you may have seen me with a snow bike. That is the one-seater snow bike that used to be in the old Vikendi. That's not actually in the new Vikendi yet, but it is still available in custom games. So if you see it, that's why. Hopefully they do add it back to Vikendi. But the snowmobiles changed a little bit. Max speed is 120 kilometers, which is actually pretty dang quick. And most importantly, the movement speed will no longer decrease on flat surfaces, concrete, roads, or hard ground. This was really, really big because of the old Vikendi. As soon as you got off of the snow, the snowmobile tracks start to overheat and slow down. Now you can actually still keep full speed ahead on snow, off snow, on the road, and it makes it much more of a usable vehicle. And of course, you can shoot pistols from the driver's seat like you always could. Now, next up are the trains. A pretty big change here for the trains. They've reduced significantly the sound of the trains and the amount of them in Vikendi. They are now going to be signified with these blue dotted lines, and they specifically go, you know, from point A to point B, not like the old Vikendi where it went around the whole map. Okay, so pay attention to that. And obviously the train station starts, the train starts at the train station, which ironically is going to be a very, very popular hot drop. Now, moving on from Vikendi, we look at Erangel. The ferry and the ferry piers have been updated quite significantly, which will allow you to drive vehicles now onto the ferry, which is really, really cool because you could not do that before. It was bugged out. You never could get a vehicle on there. So now you can actually drive a vehicle onto the ferry and use it to get across the island. And they've added a little cheeky dotted line for those who don't know where the ferry goes, so that you understand where point A and point B is, and then where point A and point B is. So now you can bring a vehicle on there. You can take the ferry all the way to the end and then drive your vehicle back off. Really cool change, nice quality of life. Also in Erangel, right south of Hospital, this is the old style building right behind Hospital. Now they basically doubled up on the amount of buildings and the potential cover and loot spaces there. So if you go to land hot at Hospital, but maybe you miss your parachute or a team lands right before you on the roof, you can break off, come down here, and now it's not just commit suicide. You can actually, potentially get some good guns and hold a different angle to take care of those enemies. Really good stuff. This is a very minor change. They just kind of changed the color of some of the buildings in Erangel. Here's the old double color, and now it's more of a uniform color with brick on the side. Not really sure what the point of that was. I guess just the artist wanted to update it. Sandhawk has a very, very big collaboration going on with Line Friends. For those that don't know, Line Friends is a Korean-based like kind of cartoon. They have like comics, apparently, like TV shows, all that kind of stuff. A lot of apparel. It's very popular out there. Line Friends, it has a big collaboration with Sandhawk, or with PUBG rather, and it's on Sandhawk specifically. So this is Paradise Resort. You're going to see a whole bunch of festive stuff there. There's a lot of Line Friends skins coming to PUBG. Check out my leaked video yesterday going over all those skins if you're interested in what they look like. For gameplay changes, PUBG really spent a lot of time on vehicle balancing, and they hit almost every vehicle in the game. The Zima, the 4x4 vehicle in Vikendi, now has 300 more health, which is quite significant, and they added trunk capacity to the Zima. So like you could on the Porter loot truck, shove stuff into the trunk, you can now do it on the Zima. I think they just need to do that on all vehicles at this point. I don't know why they haven't done that yet. They improved the vehicle's handling. The Porter truck also saw a health bump from 1200 to 1500. The general speed of the vehicle has increased, but the max speed has not. So in other words, the acceleration has increased on the Porter, which is really good because it was super sluggish if you were starting from a stop or if you had to slow down and get going again. It was really unfortunate to be in the back of that vehicle. Now they've improved the handling, improved the speed, and improved the health. The Pony Coupe, on the other hand, sees a nerf. General speed and torque in the low RPM range has been slightly decreased. So coming from a stop or low speeds, it won't be able to get up and go as fast, but the max speed is not changed. The minibus, aka Shaggin' Wagon, has had its health increased to 2500. The torque in low RPM has been increased. Max speed has been increased. Max speed while boosting has not changed. Better handling, and vehicle tires health has slightly increased. This is odd because every vehicle in the game takes 2 shots with your gun to pop the tire. So now I'm assuming it's going to take 3 per tire. I don't know if that will change anything, but there you go. The UAZ has the torque in the low RPM range increased. So again, faster off the line, better acceleration for the UAZ. No change to the max speed. The Murado, thank God, has vehicle control improvement. Torque and low RPM range has increased. You're not just going to sit there and bog down on the hills of Miramar. Max speed has not changed. So overall, I think really good changes to almost every vehicle in PUBG. I think it'll be very noticeable when you guys get behind the wheel in your next playthrough. Now, as for rank stuff, obviously with 21.1, there'll be the season rank 21 and season 20 will be ending. You'll get your rewards if you hit all the different levels at the end of season 20. Here's the look at the season 21 parachute. And I'm not going to go over all that stuff there. You can take a look at the patch notes if you're interested. I'll link it below. The basic lobby theme has been updated for Vikendi. Now, you do have to manually choose this lobby theme if you have a customized lobby selected, like many of us do. We have the customized lobby where you can choose what vehicle you want to be in there and what weapons you want on the wall. Well, now you have to choose that theme or the Vikendi theme, and the Vikendi theme is not customizable, unfortunately, but it is a cool looking theme. This I thought was pretty neat. At the end of each match, you'll have a new screen shown to you where it'll have your survival mastery XP, your BP, weapon mastery, and medals, rewards, and mission progress will be shown at the end of every match. So all in one little snapshot, boom, amount played, here's all your BP you earned, here's your medals, your mastery, your weapon mastery, and your missions that you completed that match. That's really good quality of life stuff that I think people are it's not like a crazy good feature, but I think once people see it, they're like, wow, that's actually really nice we have that after every match now, because you don't have to go and check what rewards did I get, and it's just boom, all right there, and you get to your next match and keep having fun. Obviously, like I just discussed, there's a brand new survivor pass with Vikendi Reborn. Watch my video from yesterday if you want to look at all the skins coming for the survivor pass. I think personally the survivor pass is pretty damn good. I like the weapon skins that are in there. I like some of the clothing skins that are in there, and the survivor pass is 990-ish G-coin, which means if you want the survivor pass, you have to buy G-coin, obviously using creator code CDome. But you can buy the G-coin bundle that comes with a P90 skin. So you actually get a free P90 skin, and you get access to all the survivor pass stuff once you buy it. So I think overall it's a really good value this go around. The workshop once again has been updated with quality items. The high noon clothing set and the PNC clothing set have been added to the workshop. Man, the workshop is the knockout of the park for PUBG. I really do believe that. If you do not like the contraband system, or you don't know what to spend your BP on, the workshop's where it's at. Speaking of the contraband system, I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but in the leaked video that we did yesterday for all the skins, the new contraband crate is not going to have a progressive weapon. Instead, it's going to have colored smoke grenades. Yeah. All right, bug fixes. I'm not going to go over all these, but there was one specific, the one that I wanted to call out to you guys. It says fixed the issue where a weapon, vehicle, or footstep sounds are not heard infrequently during a match. This seems like such an odd little line of bug fix. I feel like more attention should be put onto this. When was this happening? What specific issue was this fixed? Was this in buildings? Because I mean, we've all been there. You know, God, I didn't even hear that vehicle pull up, or is that, I didn't hear this person's footsteps. They were right behind me. It'd be really nice to know, you know, a specific point of reference of where they fixed it at. But either way, it's fixed. So you'll hear footsteps and all that good stuff now. I'm not going to go over all this stuff, guys. You can head to the patch notes and take a look yourself if you're that interested. Link will be in the description. With that out of the way, that is our patch notes update 21.1. So I hope you guys are looking forward to Vikendi as much as I am. I can't wait to get into it. I'm glad they have a featured map. Hopefully it's not for that long though. For NA, I'm hoping like a week, 2 weeks max for a featured map. Then I want it to roll into normal maps, and I want us to have Erangel, Miramar, Vikendi, Destin, and Tego. Those are the only 5 maps we should have in the live map rotation. Hell, take out Tego if you want and have only 4 maps. I'm cool with that too. But let me know what you guys think about the patch notes, the new features, Vikendi, all that kind of good stuff. Let me know in the comments below. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Share it with a buddy. Don't forget to use creator code CDome at checkout if you do buy anything in the store. And I'll see you guys in the next live stream or the next video. Take care. Stay grouchy, boys. Peace.